And now we present to you America's quintessential iconoclastic anomaly. Wow. In talk radio, your host, Joe Cristiano.
I have to admit that I'm blushing a little bit because the email I receive is quite complimentary. I'm not accustomed to that. Usually I receive email that tells me to go someplace. But in the past few weeks, since I have been broadcasting what I would consider some very hardcore logic, not very palatable logic, the emails that I am receiving, and this is, by the way, without exception, have been very positive. Now, that surprises the heck out of me because you would suspect that when you take a stance, a hard stance, that's contrary to popular opinion or popular talk show hosts or top news, you would think that everyone would come down on you with a ton of bricks. I received one yesterday, and I'll tell you, I assume it was a gal, and she said, I count the hours until your program. I mean, what kind of a compliment is that? Isn't that
wow.
I'm telling you, I'm not kidding, Jim. I'm not kidding you.
That's amazing.
But the gist is all the same. It's always the same. It says, I am tired of talk radio. I am tired of talk radio. I'm tired of what they're saying. It never closes the loop for me. I'm always left with something uncertain when it's over. I leave no one with uncertainty. Everything is absolutely certain. And the comment that unravels me the most is when I hear, "Oh yeah, Joe, I agree with you, but." That drives me crazy. I said, just tell me you disagree, and we can't do that. Well, this program, there is going to be no but, no and, or anything. I'm going to talk some logic. Now, that does not mean that I'm right and everybody else is wrong. This is an open forum. I expect my listeners to call me and say, Joe, that made absolutely no sense. Although, you are a member of the University of Logic, better known as Cristiano's Conservatory, correcting convoluted conversation, you're wrong. And I want to hear that.
And scholarships are available.
Scholarships, absolutely. But my point being is if I'm wrong, you better come back with facts because I want to learn. I want to learn as much as you want to learn. And that's what we're here for. Sean Hannity got ripped apart last week by someone. I forgot the guy's name. It's immaterial. And he was criticized as being the worst journalist on television. Well, the guy was wrong. Because Sean Hannity is not a journalist. He's a pundit. He's a talk show host. He's an entertainer. Now, I only mention that because I do not want to be an entertainer. I hope you find this entertaining. But I do not wish to be an entertainer. I wish to espouse some logic so we can get this country back on track. Now, I'm a real small fish in a gigantic ocean. I understand that. But slowly but surely, word has to get out. I want someone else to speak as I am speaking. John Stossel, he speaks that way. Judge Napolitano speaks that way. I want to speak that way. Soon there'll be more and more, and eventually we can change the minds and hearts of the people in America. I think it was Rothschild that said, I care not who rules your army, who controls your army, I just want control of your currency. And that was a true statement. But I want to go further than that. I think there's something missing, and if it's missing, it doesn't go full circle. In fact, governments want control of the currency. They want total control of the army. But the first thing they want control of, folks, the first thing, and this is missing in all the textbooks, they want control of your mind. Think about that. Governments want control of your mind. They want control of the way you think. I want to give you an example. There's a fella, Johnny, who I see at the coffee shop once in a while. Super kid. I say kid. I don't know how old he is. Everyone's a kid. When you're 70 years old, everybody's a kid, you know?
Yeah.
Really? I mean, everyone's a kid now, you know?
I guess so.
Oh, you're 62? Oh, yeah, you're a kid, you know? I don't know why, but he's in his 20s, I guess. But a sharp kid. I met this guy, and funny way I met him. He drove up in a customized Suzuki Hayabusa motorcycle. That's the motorcycle that goes like 190 miles an hour plus, you know, the fastest motorcycle in the world. And then when I sat down, I was talking about his motor. It was all customized. It was beautiful. He said, "Oh, it's not mine." He says, "It's my girlfriend's." I said, "When you go home, tell her I love her." You know, no, really. But we got to know each other, and I saw him dozens of times in the coffee shop, and we talked a little bit. Last time I spoke with him, I asked him, where is he headed? And he said, well, he's going to go to the police academy, and because he wants to get into, he doesn't want to be a regular cop, but he wants to get into other things, you know. And I said, well, you have to start as a policeman and the other things that you'll be doing. What if you're asked to take measures against your own citizens? I mean, not because they committed a crime, because you're just told to do so. And his answer was interesting because it ties into the control of your mind. He said, well, I would if it was for the greater good. Now, I'm not criticizing this kid, and let me tell you why I'm not criticizing him, because I compare myself to him when I was his age. And he is like light years ahead of me in every way. I mean, this kid's in businesses, he's done everything. And I did nothing. I just had a job, I mean, I was a goofy kid, did nothing. I mean, this guy's light years ahead, so I'm not criticizing him. What I'm saying is that here is someone who's really sharp, and yet the government has control of his mind. This is what we have to be concerned about. Do we understand that?
We must silence the political
Exactly. That's exactly what I'm talking about. Look at what we do. We spend hours. Count the hours that you spend watching the boob tube, better known as the television. And then, that's a quantitative. Then qualitatively, what are you watching? Do you know, even the news, if you look at the news and jot down every story, how many of those are relevant to you that you need to know, that is really news for you, not to you, but for you? There are times I sit there, and if I knew nothing of what they were talking about, it would make absolutely no difference in my life. But it does condition your mind to believe that what we are doing overseas and, the attacks on people and governments being overturned and insurgents being killed is important to us. And that we, as the world's leading superpower, we're obligated to do something. And that's not true. But that's a conditioning of the mind. Here's another one. Now, there's a talk show host that I consider one of the smartest guys. I won't say brilliant, because I don't know if he's brilliant, but he's smart. Very, very smart. And I won't mention his name. And I listen to him from time to time. He's a bright guy. I mean, he knows stuff. He's well educated. He's got high degrees and all that stuff. And I think he listened to my program last week or last night. It was, by the way, it was rebroadcasted last night. Because everything he said was the antithesis of what I said, was the exact opposite of what I said. We say, well, Joe, if he's so damn smart, and I think you've got the right line of thinking, how could he be so smart? Well, because it's not a matter of being smart, it's a matter of conditioning of your mind. Now, here's a brilliant guy, a talk show host for dozens of years. One of the biggest ones in the United States bar none. I mean, one of the big guys. Now, you think he would know better. And I couldn't help but believe or think that he actually listened to my broadcast, and there's the reason why he did that. I'm sure he didn't lower himself to listen to my broadcast. I'm sure of that. Because what he did is he praised all of our troops and our people in uniform, men and women in uniform. Now, there's nothing wrong with that. And then what he did is he elicited a lot of emotion. And the way he did that, he played all of the songs, like the Marine song, the hymn, or the battle song, you know, from the halls of Montezuma, you know, and then the Navy song, you know, anchors away, da-da, you know. And he played the whole song. The good portion of his program was hammering that we should be supporting our troops. And how dare we say anything that negates anything that they are doing that doesn't support them 100%. Now, we're going to go to break, and I'm going to tell you why that's wrong. All right, let's go. Remember that other book, Some Good Men, what was it, with Jack Nicholson? You want to know the truth? You can't handle the truth. And sometimes I feel that way, folks. I feel like people cannot handle the truth. They have their belief systems, and what their belief systems do is protect them. It doesn't do anything. It doesn't make them a better person. It does nothing. It protects them. It protects the way they feel. Everything's the way they feel today, you know? Or you got to feel good about this and that. But let me get back to this program, and they're playing all these military songs, and it was kind of neat listening to them in a way. But here's the logic. The logic is that he is saying I support the troops. I just don't support what our government is forcing them to do. There's a difference. And the problem with many talk show hosts is they never get down to the core problem, the core issue. The core issue is not our troops overseas. The core issue is why are they being sent overseas? Who is sending them? And why are we allowing that to occur? And I'm not lambasting our troops. I'm lambasting the fact that our troops are not thinking. When they sign up, they know there's a good chance they're going to wind up in Afghanistan. They know darn well they're going to be told, shoot those people. And those people are not even going to be armed, and they have to kill them because they're suspected Al-Qaeda or Taliban operatives, whatever the hell that's supposed to mean. And then they come back all goofy in the head because they know they kill people and they don't know why. And then our government discards them because they don't need them anymore. They don't need them because they're not generating any tax revenue. They don't care. And don't kid yourself. So these talk show hosts are doing more harm than good. They are supporting the actions of a psychopathic government. And then they support it. And then they talk about freedom. We have the freedom and get government off our back. Well, get government off our back, but put the government on the back of our men, our sons and daughters, and put them overseas to kill people. And so when they come back, they're not Johnny anymore, nice Johnny and Mary anymore. They're goofy. And some come back as psychopathic killers because they're trained to kill. That's their job, to kill. On TV, they say, oh, join the army and you can become a computer technician. No, you're going to become a killer. That's what you're there for. And when are we going to wake up to that fact? You know, we have to think deep. We cannot think shallow. I was listening to an investment broadcast, for example. I think I'm going nuts. I'm gonna By the way, guys, I'm going to diatribe. But you mind if I diatribe for a while?
Oh, no,
Anyone?
go ahead.
Yeah, okay.
We always love your
You're
diatribes.
already
Yeah.
nuts.
It's still
Our favorite
it's still 4:30
diatribe.
in the morning. It's still 4:30.
Yeah.
I'm with a bunch of clowns over here.
Yeah.
You know that.
I'm still asleep. I got up yet.
No, really.
Diatribe.
This is on my
First
mind.
explain what the heck's that mean?
This is on my mind. Yeah, I'm listening to an investment broadcast on radio while I'm writing out checks and doing the stuff at home, you know. And the guy made an excellent point. But the point I'm making here is that we don't think through. And he made a point that today, gold and silver and things like that, precious metals, is not a good investment. He said, people have told you, he was criticizing talk show hosts that promote buying gold and silver, you know, the big guys, and they all seem to do it today. And he said, he says, these guys are not investment experts. He says, they're just entertaining, they're show pundits. You know,
They're endorsers.
Yeah, they're endorsers, that's all.
Yeah.
They're getting paid.
Yeah.
And, you know, they get paid no matter what happens to the price of gold.
Exactly.
So
yeah.
that's their sponsor, and they just say, go out there and buy that. And he said, and look what happened to gold. A year or so ago, it was $1,850, whatever, and now it's $1,570 or whatever. And he said, look at all those people who bought it at 18, and now it's now a 15. $1,800 now it's $1,500. He said they don't make any excuses for that, and he said they just keep on pushing it. Now I agree with that. Well, there's a few things I do disagree with. First of all, when you buy gold, it is not an investment. Now, this guy's an investment guru. He should know that. You buy gold to make certain that you always have currency. You don't buy it as you want investment, you know, buy Google. But here's where he really missed. This is what really grabbed me. And I don't know this for a fact, but I will put money on it. When gold was at $300 an ounce or $250-something an ounce, and you can get a gold coin for $300 an ounce. Did he suggest to his audience, to his customers, did he suggest that you go out there and buy gold? I want to bet heavy money, and I can't go back to the broadcast because I don't know which one it would be, but I'll bet dollars to donuts that he never suggested when it was at $250 an ounce to go out there and buy gold because it's a darn good deal and you're going to sextuple your money. You see what I mean? What they do is they talk after the fact. You know, after the fact, I'm brilliant. I can tell you everything about everything after the fact.
Of course, yeah.
You know, but what they do is they're talking after the fact, but they're the investment advisors. Well, if you're an investment advisor, you weren't telling people, hey, get out there and buy gold. There wasn't one investment advisor back in the year 2000 that had suggested anyone buy gold. But if you did, your return would have been 6 times. And then then he goes on to say that, look, he said, and the pundits have been telling you that everything's going to hell in a handbasket. You're going to lose your money in the stock market. Get out now and buy gold. And what happened to the stock market? It went up. And now it has surpassed the price it was back in 2000. Now he's leaving just one little item out of that conversation. Not a big one, one little baby item. And that is from 2000 to date, that's 13 years, averaging 2.5%. I'm going to give the benefit of the doubt. I'm going to give the government even credit for this. 2.5% inflation. You figure there's 3, right? After 10 years, you're talking about, after 13 years of 2.5%, you're talking about, round figures, don't get your calculators out, 30%. That means whatever it is today, you have to deduct 30% for inflation. Now, if you got a calculator, someone do that. You got a phone. I got these guys, they're staring at me. No, I got a calculator.
Yeah.
I don't know how to use it, you know?
Yeah.
You know, anyone who wants to be on the show, call me. I'll throw these other people out, let me tell you. But if you do it, I'll bet if you take 30% off of 14,000, what does it got to be? Like
They're calculating right now. Do we need to play game show music?
I got
behind
4
it?
people. They don't want to run the calculator.
My phone is not very user friendly.
Oh,
Thank you. I got
I
Preston
have a
here. Preston
BlackBerry.
he's got a BlackBerry. Blackberries don't know how to add.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
it
what is
doesn't
it?
even.
I got a
don't know.
malfunction. I didn't get it.
Oh, I got a malfunction. Now, the malfunction is not with the equipment. I'll tell you that. You know?
Operator error.
But just that you have to deduct 30%. So the market now has down 30% since 2000. It's down 30% since 2000, although numerically it's the same amount. So they don't mention that they didn't suggest back then that you should have bought gold. And then they don't mention the fact that even if it matches dollar for dollar what it was in 2000, that you're still losing 30% of your purchasing power. No. Now, these are the investment advisors that you should listen to, but don't listen to people crackpots like me. That's what grabs me. And that's why we listen to people, but we don't think. We just don't think. You know, I wish I was a regular talk show host. You know what they do? They take one subject, they repeat it and repeat it. You know,
just-
oh, God.
Have you heard anything about inflation in the last 2 years?
Oh, no, we have no inflation.
None whatsoever.
No inflation.
No,
Absolutely not.
inflation, my God.
No, in fact, I go to the grocery store, they throw the groceries at me. It's so cheap.
You know, I was at Target. 1 pound of hamburger, $5.74
Wow.
a pound. Wow.
What do
And it's in little packets.
Why are you buying hamburger?
Huh? Well,
Oh, you see now, he's on a diet. He's on a diet. Come on.
you don't pay me enough.
I don't pay him enough. Madonna me.
Exactly.
I tell you,
I would be having steak.
anybody who wants to replace these, no qualifications, you can replace them. I'll
Well, there
tell
you
right
go.
now.
You're taking applications.
You missed
But,
it.
you know,
$5.79. It used to be what?
Yeah,
Just a few years ago. $3.
We're talking about hamburgers now. You see this? Guy's got a hamburger
inflation.
brain. Hamburger brain.
It's hamburger inflation.
Hamburger brain.
If you want
Oh, I like that
If
title.
you want to know what you don't want to know what inflation is, buy hamburger.
Buy hamburgers.
You can watch the market right there on the hamburger thing.
That's right. That's what changed back in the 70s is hamburger.
That's right.
And everyone noticed
It is actually a market
Yeah.
trend.
Well, my point being, after I was so rudely interrupted, but they say, well, why don't you go daily? Well, if I go daily, I have to do what they do. Take one item and repeat it,
Over
and
and
then
over.
turn it over, repeat it over again. I don't
can
want
do
to
the
do that.
hamburger report.
But
the
what I
hamburger,
want to
yeah.
do is I really want to instill some logic so people start thinking. We're not thinking. TV, the news on TV, I liken to the WWF. The wide
Oh.
world of wrestling. I mean,
Oh, yeah.
One of the most intellectual shows on television in
according
years.
I tell you, most of the population of the United States has difficulty comprehending it because it's above them.
Yeah, I
know?
believe it, yeah.
It's amazing. And our news has become the WWF. They say, well, 20 people surgeons were killed in Mali. Like I turn around and go, ooh, good thing they're not in my house. What the hell is he telling me for? what the heck do I care? Well, a bank was robbed in Tanzania. Oh, yeah? Oh, my God. Man, my money's safe. I'd like for everyone to sit down and write down which news items that they're listening to have any relevance to their lives and make any sense to them whatsoever. Point scoring. You'll come out close to a 0 every single time. And then they have news. They have, of course,
Trending YouTube videos.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Trending
Yeah.
YouTube videos. That's newsworthy.
Yeah, most of the YouTubes are a lot more relevant than they are. And then they have what they call the popular stuff where they say, oh, so-and-so is marrying so-and-so.
Oh, TMZ.com and
Yeah.
More
I mean, on the news.
who's
And I say,
divorcing
what does that have to do with that? Is that an invitation to the wedding? No, I'm not getting an invitation. But we're doing this, folks, and what's happening, our minds are getting dumb, and they're getting dull, and we refuse to think. And then you get people like this one talk show host that musters up, listen carefully, musters up our emotions. And when our emotions are mustered up, we talk about patriotism. And patriotism is one of the worst things that could occur to any citizen because we convert from the individual to the we mentality. If we talk about patriotism, we're talking about we. And once it's we, it's no longer me. So I have to follow. And that's exactly what the government wants to do. Do we have a break now? Let's go. News alert, ladies and gentlemen. North Korea is going to nuke the United States. We've heard that all week. And then we've also heard that Iran is going to nuke. So we're going to get it from both sides. Now, of course, we repeat that and repeat that and repeat that so that when the United States decides to proceed with military action, what do we say? What do the drones of America say?
Well, we had to. They were gonna nuke us, so we nuke them first. I'll tell you, yeah, USA.
That's exactly why. Do you know North Korea could no more nuke the United States than me personally? I can nuke China. I mean, people should be screaming. I mean, they should be throwing. We should see TV sets or flat screens out in the middle of the street saying, and people stomping up saying, I'm never watching this crap again. It is garbage.
Oh, but if we do that, we'll be criticized.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, we'll be criticized. That's not a nice thing to do.
Right.
You know, so people say that. Well, we have to take action, or we have to be on our guard, and we have to support our military because Iran. Now, how the heck is Iran going to? How possibly? We have bases all over. Dozens of bases all over. We have satellite surveillance of the entire state of Israel, of Iran rather, watching it. When Ahmadinejad, goes to get a hamburger, we know it, and we know what route he takes.
Yeah.
Now, and they're going to start launching. They don't have them yet. They don't have any rockets yet. They don't have launching pads. They have nothing. But they're going to nuke us, so we have to be on red alert. We should be screaming and getting all these psychopaths that are in our office the hell out of office. And North Korea, they have nothing.
They only have enough to eat.
I mean, they don't have enough to eat. Now, they're going to launch 7,000, 8,000 miles away, but just think of the logic. And if they did so, of course, we wouldn't retaliate. Oh, come on. I mean, when we listen to this garbage, we listen to garbage, and then we repeat it. Another thing is that we hear about is this illegal immigration. I have a question for everybody who has illegal immigration at the edge of their tongue. 30, 40 years ago, this was not an issue. Why didn't we discuss it 20 years ago? We never discussed it 20 years ago, 30 years ago. And when you think about we're building a wall, what's the difference between the wall that we are building on the Rio Grande and the Berlin Wall? What's the difference? It's meant to keep people out.
Or maybe in.
Yeah, exactly.
No, in. No, you are absolutely correct. You are absolutely correct. It keeps people in. They say, we got to keep damn Mexicans out there. They're going to take them jobs. No, you understand that. That's a way to keep you in as well as keeping them out. Mm-hmm. It's a two-way street, guys. But they don't mention that. They don't mention that because they don't want to contaminate your already contaminated mind. They're contaminating in such a way that you will think one way and one way. George Orwell was perfectly correct in this book, 1984.
He was, yeah.
Absolutely correct.
He was just off by about 40 years.
Exactly.
And we have no immigration problem. What we have is we don't have enough immigrants here today to do the type of work that needs to be done that people here don't want to do. Quite frankly,
don't want to do. They're lazy. People are lazy, and we're making them more lazy. That is really our problem, Joe. Yeah. What's wrong with hard work?
Well, the thing is, we have to keep the Mexicans out because they don't know how to download apps on their iPhone. So they're not qualified to be an American.
Maybe that's true.
Let me tell you, I've belonged to Toastmasters for over 30 years now. 20 years ago, so, it was a pretty hardcore group. There was some professional speakers in my group, and when they provided someone with an evaluation, it was an evaluation. I mean, they weren't nasty, but they were very specific. and they'd say, they talk about what the objective of the speech was.
Better
if
there
it was
than in front of a real crowd.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Right?
I mean,
exactly, yeah.
And Toastmasters, what is a workshop? It's a practice workshop. Today, I'm criticized. I'm criticized every meeting because I don't say, oh, Mary, that was a wonderful speech. I really enjoyed it. I have to say that. If I don't say that, someone at the end, I'm not kidding you, after I give an evaluation, I give professional evaluations because I've done this for 40 years. I'm good at this. I know what I'm talking about. One of the few things I know what to do, but I know how to do. And at the end of every meeting, somebody stands up and says, well, so-and-so, I think you did a good job, and they sit down. In other words, they have to discredit me to make the person feel better. This is the America you live in now.
I was going to say, it sounds like American business, too.
Yeah. You know one thing I didn't do today at all?
What?
I didn't tell people to call in, 855.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah, I didn't suggest anyone call in, not once.
Well, time flies when you're having fun.
Yeah.
So.
Hey, folks, if you want to call, there's plenty of time.
There's still plenty of time, yeah.
Yeah, 855-866-1170. Let me hear from you. 855-866-1170. Sure. Of course, your comments to our email addresses, comments, plural, at libertytalkradio.com, our website, libertytalkradio.com. Let me hear from you. And please call in. I don't think this computer, let's see if that computer's working. Yeah.
This immigration problem isn't even an issue. The issue really is we have millions of people out of work, but they're too proud to get on their knees and pick strawberries. I'll tell you what, a lot of people who are successful today, when they were young in life, they picked strawberries.
Yeah, that's right.
There's nothing wrong
Blackberries,
with picking
all that
strawberries.
stuff.
As a matter of fact, they're pretty good tasting straight off the, the
well,
vine.
Beautiful.
Let me go on a diatribe on that. I haven't started.
Another diatribe from
All the things. I have a sheet here. I have a sheet of what I want to talk about. I haven't started it yet. I'm on this guy. I tell you, I'm on this is a complaint morning.
Yeah, it's terrible.
When people say, I can't find a job. Nobody owes you. No one opens a business and sits there and says, well, I'm waiting for Fred to lose his job to be out of work so I can hire him. No one. No one owes you a job. If you want a job, guess what? Work. You don't need a job. You need work. Our emphasis is on jobs. Jobs mean nothing. How about creating work? How about doing something, thinking about what can I do where I would be self-employed doing. Think about it. It's really easy to do. You ever notice that the cars today, the headlights get all funny? They get all, they get cloudy.
Yeah.
I said, if I ever was broke, if I was in a position where I had to find work, I would make a flyer up, I would put it in everyone's door. I would walk through all the neighborhoods and say, for $25, I will bring your lenses back to new.
You make $250 a day, half a day.
Yeah, I would. Yeah.
Seriously,
I would
work half a day. Make
now,
$250
just think,
a day.
if I only got 10, and it will only take a few minutes to
10
do.
a day.
If I got 10 a day, that's $250 a day.
Cash.
You want to know something? I never made that money. I never really made that much money. Now, what is that a week? That's $1,250 a week, right? 12, 24,
That's
35.
$5,000
Yeah,
a
that's
month.
$5,000 a month.
Yeah.
That's $5,000 a month, and that's just an idea. In other words, people sit there waiting for someone to hire them. That's wrong. That's the wrong mentality. Okay, what I wanted to talk about, let me hear from you. 855-866-1170. I'm sorry, I never gave the number out. 855-866-1170. Your emails go to comments@libertytalkradio.com. Of course, visit our website, libertytalkradio.com, and you'll see my charming, beautiful face, They video all this stuff. They put me on there. Well, and I think if the underlying cause of all of this, we only have 2 more minutes to break, okay, is a fact. I had a broadcast on my internet Thursday morning, and I named it The Sissification of America. The Sissification of America. We used to be rugged individualists. We are no longer rugged individualists.
We're codependent.
Codependent. We're collectivists, That's why when you have that, it goes back. Listen, this all ties in. Everything I said ties in. When you hear someone said, patriotism is a collective word. you convert yourself from being an individual saying, hell no, I ain't going. Hell no, I won't go. From that, you say, I have to do what I'm told. You see what I mean? You go from the individual, you go to the collective we. And that's what patriotism is. Patriotism is the most dangerous thing that can happen to this country. And it's got hold of us. You know, so all the bumper stickers and all that other crap on every stupid war that we go to. And no one will spend 2 seconds even trying to determine what we're doing and why we're doing it. But they will say, I'm a patriot.
Misguided pride.
Yeah, it's bad. It really is bad. And that ties into the sissification of America. We go to break now? Let's go to break and we'll talk about that when we get back. We have sponsors on this program, and I'm sure some of them are on the program because they believe in the message. If they believe in the message and so do you, you should consider supporting them. All right? It's very simple. For example, the person who does all my T-shirts, custom embroidery and more by Rose. She does everything. She does a fantastic job. I can call her and say, hey, I need a T-shirt for tomorrow, for my broadcast. And this is the theme. She says, I'll have something for you. I have never been disappointed. These people are good. If there was schlock, they wouldn't be my sponsors. I can tell you, no schlock. We have Heather Walters, who's the naturopath, the ND, over at Jenks Health and Nutrition. You know, people tell me, I'm not kidding. They say, geez, your skin looks so much better. You look, I don't know, were you sick before? You look so much better. No, I'm not kidding. I know this sounds like radio talk. It's not. It's the truth. And 2 people have told me that. They say, oh, you look so much healthier. I go, I do, yeah, ever since I've been going to her. And honey, what's the the type of vitamins you get,
for ladies.
They're special. They're pharmaceutical grade, right? That's what
Oh, yeah, pharmaceutical
grade.
Right, sure.
Yeah, everything she sells is pharmaceutical grade. So, you buy something, you have no idea what's in it. Just buy it at the store. Everything is pharmaceutical grade. It's as if, a doctor was going to prescribe it for you. And then we have Alltech, for security. Boy, this is becoming an issue. Go to people who are professionals, know what they're doing, and treat you right. Alltech Security. And McCool's Firearms, I can't speak more for them. I mean, they're the greatest. I can go there anytime, talk to them for a half hour, have a problem with a firearm. They can help me out. They have great gunsmiths there. Great place to go. McCool's Firearms. And, of course, Ranch Acres Audiology, which is our original sponsor. Anything that has to do with your hearing, go to Ranch Acres Audiology. Give them a call. And really, just, be mindful of that. Someday, if you don't do it and things go really bad, you'll regret that you didn't, okay? And, of course, Go Liberty Foods, because we all should have a certain amount of food stocked in our house. I mean, even if things were fine, nothing was wrong, you should have long-term storage food in your house. If you're not going to can it yourself, you should buy it from Go Liberty Foods, okay?
I have condiments at my house,
so
if anyone needs condiments.
Kristen has condiments. We're
lovely.
Survival condiments.
I just want everyone to know.
Business model.
Yeah. Okay, so we get the food. We'll take the food over to your house, Preston,
exactly.
and we'll have a party,
Better. It tastes much better.
Sometimes I mix mustard and ketchup. And
that sounds good.
For that.
My fries.
You take chopped onions and you put it with chopped relish.
Yeah, well,
like
I have
pickle
relish too.
You
I have some pickle relish.
He's set folks for at least 72 hours before he starves to death. He's all set. All right, I want to talk a little bit about the sissification of America. We have a few minutes. Oh, yeah, we have a caller on the air. Here we go. Charles, you're on the air. Sorry to keep you holding so long.
Charles must have hung up. All right.
Oh, Charles,
you made him hold too long.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. Charles, call back.
He got him hungry after the ketchup.
855-866-1170. I'm sorry, Charles. We just had, we had a break to promote our sponsors. I really wanted to do that because I mean that. I really do. And, the sponsors that we have, I use. Okay? I want you to know that. All right, the sissification of America. What do I mean by that? Well, we are no longer rugged individuals. And we're afraid of everything. We have become afraid of our neighbors because our neighbors may be pedophiles. They may be something. I mean, they conjure up all this fear into us, so now we have to be careful about our neighbors, people that we've known for 30 years. Now we have to be careful. We have to watch them. And if you notice any unusual behavior, they should be reported. This is our mind. Instead of saying, screw you, I know Harry's a nice guy. Forget about it, No, now we got to be very careful. Where we're really remiss is that we are sissies when it comes to ideas. We are afraid of ideas. The first thing we do when we hear an idea, we want to know if it has been approved. Oh, I think we have Charlie back. Hold on. Oh, Mike from Tucson, right, Mike?
I'm in Tucson right now, but I go back and forth between Tucson and Tulsa.
Okay, where are you calling from now?
Right now I'm in Tucson.
You're in Tucson. Okay, are you listening to us on the radio?
On the internet.
On the internet. Okay, fine. Thank you very much. What's on your mind, Mike?
Yeah, I just wanted to let you know I do enjoy your show, and I generally agree with you, and I think I agree with you now, but I wanted to bring up something that you said earlier today regarding Iran and North Korea and how they couldn't bomb us. And you talk about logic a lot, and I noticed that your main reason why you thought they wouldn't bomb us was the fact that we have bases everywhere around the country. And that might imply to your listeners that you think that it's a good idea that we have bases all around the country.
Oh no, I think Mike, let me make myself perfectly clear, as they say. I think every single base should be closed down. We should come home, and we should not be on anyone else's soil other than our own. And we should have a Department of Defense which is within the confines of our own country. And in fact, I don't even think we need a large standing army. Just allow everyone to own whatever firearms they want, and see if anyone would dare step foot and invade this country. Never happen.
I agree with you. But I think that if you use as your main reason the fact that we have bases all around the country and that's why we're safe, that would give people the wrong impression of what your true beliefs are.
Okay.
I wouldn't want to use that as the reason.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Now, let me criticize myself, because they can develop a nuclear weapon, put it in a suitcase and have it shipped here, and it can go off. I mean, there are ways of doing it other than launching.
Not with TSA.
Yeah, TSA. Yeah.
Their rump, you'd never find it.
That's right. Yeah, but I mean, it doesn't have to be a rocket. So I'm criticizing myself. There are ways that they can do it, but it all comes down, Mike, to the point that if in fact we were truly a non-intrusive country, that we did not have a government that had to involve itself with other governments. If our government just shut up and went home and sat down and just minded their own business, and we as Americans, as individuals, traded with countries, there would be little reason or no reason, from my point of view, for anyone that would want to do anything, to want to nuke us. I mean, why would you want to nuke a customer of yours or a supplier of yours? I mean, why would you want to nuke a friend of yours? I mean, why would you want to nuke somebody who's trading with you, who leaves you alone and allows you to do whatever the heck you want? I mean, there would be no reason. But people are not going around saying, we're going to nuke Mongolia tomorrow. No, they don't bother it. They bother no one. But we can't seem to do that. That's my point.
I agree with you. Yeah. Very good. I just wanted to bring that up and make sure that you didn't think that having bases all over the country was a good idea.
Oh, no, absolutely no. And thanks for keeping me honest. I appreciate that, Mike. Okay? Take care now.
All right. Enjoy your show. Bye-bye.
Well, that's nice. Another compliment,
Yeah.
Yeah, I should pay these guys. I get more. But, we talk about the sissification of America. It's our ideas. We can't even have ideas anymore because we become numb because of television. And then we get our belief systems all garbaged up with this, like I said before, the patriotism and stuff like that. And we have these conflicting thoughts. We say, well, I know the war is bad, but I have to be patriotic. And people are constantly in turmoil. When they are in turmoil, what do? They look to somebody else to explain to them. And they're not listening to me, not everyone, but they will listen to the government. And the government will show them the way. Yeah. Think about it. It's sad. We don't have the courage of our own convictions anymore. We're afraid of our own convictions. We don't even have friends anymore. We have friends on Facebook, but we don't even interact anymore. I know this town, I always considered Tulsa's a nice town, but it's a vanilla town. People don't want to upset anybody. It's the same conversations, always saying, hi, how are you? Thank you very much. Have a nice day. I hear, I have a nice day one more time. I'm going to go nuts, No one wants to talk about anything meaningful. Now, in New York, people talked more meaningfully because people came from overseas and you find a lot of immigrants there. They'd talk about anything. They didn't know you. They'd stop you on the street and say, hey, let me ask you your opinion or something. In this town, everything has to be proper and nice and nice and nice and nice.
Well, Joe.
This has become a real sissification of America.
Well, they like it that way because they're probably listening to us.
That's right. Yeah. That's right.
You do it
Remember,
for them. So you do it for them.
Yeah, it really is. It's a shame, folks. Are we about out of time?
You got about 45 seconds.
Okay. All right, folks. Listen, you get my point, right? This is going to be the end of today's broadcast. We'd like to thank our sponsors for their financial support, and we'd like to thank you for listening in. You can further the cause of liberty by recommending this program to your friends and let us hear from you. Our email address is comments@libertytalkradio.com. Folks, it is time for us to take back control of our government now before this bureaucratic, oversized, and self-serving federal government starves us of our property, our freedom, our rights, and our liberty. To do this, we must shed conventional thinking regarding our political structure. We need to be revolutionaries in thought, dissidents in action. Only after we recognize what our government is doing to our freedom and our Constitution will we start taking it back. And this is what this program's all about. Thank you for joining us. Have a good day.